When she tries to come back after she broke up with you, it's not a sign to get back with her. This is a test. And there are 4 main reasons why you might get back with her. And I want to help you avoid making these mistakes. So let's get straight into it. And the first reason is you haven't healed. And because you haven't healed, she has complete power over you. She's got complete control. All she needs to do is reach out to you and say, look, I miss you. I want to get back with you. Let's make things work. And because you haven't processed the emotions from the breakup, you haven't actually healed properly, you're going to potentially go back to her. You're going to go back to the person that broke your heart. And understand that you have a primal brain. Due to our biological imperative, your primal brain doesn't want to accept the fact that she's gone. Because in prehistoric times, you wouldn't go through a breakup. Your brain wouldn't have to deal with a breakup. You'd meet a woman, you'd procreate with her, she'd be part of your tribe, and you just extend your bloodline. But now that we're living in modern day times, we go through breakups. Women have more options. So at this point, you need to convince your primal brain that she's no longer coming back. That's when you start to move forward. Your primal brain will give you permission. Okay, you know what? She's no longer in the picture anymore. She's no longer coming back to you. So now you can start moving forward. And until that happens, you're going to be in a weak and vulnerable state. She's got complete power over you at this point. And if I was to look back at my last breakup, which was about 3 years ago, I was in a 7-year relationship. When I was going through the healing stage, processing the emotions, trying to convince my primal brain that she was no longer in the picture, I'm grateful that she didn't reach out, because if she did reach out, I might have gotten back with her, because I was very vulnerable. I was very weak. So you got to understand that this could potentially happen to you. You maybe didn't start the healing process. Maybe you just focused on getting validation externally. She starts dating someone else. She maybe left you for another guy. Things didn't work out with that person. And because you didn't process the emotions of the breakup and she's still got power over you, essentially, you will go back with her, right? Not because you want to really go back with her, but it's the safest option. It's the easiest option for you. You don't need to do the healing. And this is very dangerous. This is where a lot of guys go wrong. All it takes is for a woman to just reach out to you on social media, send you a message, say, I miss you, I miss the memories that we had. And if you're not strong, you haven't processed the emotions of the breakup, you will go back to her. Understand that she has complete control over you at this point of the breakup. That's why healing is non-negotiable. This is why you must start to process the emotions as soon as possible, so she doesn't try to come back into your life, because you're going to unconsciously let her back in, because all you're doing is thinking about all the beautiful memories. Your mind is trapped in fear and scarcity. You're thinking, what if I don't meet someone else? Essentially, you have to overcome the backwards thinking mentality. Your brain's going to be scanning the whole relationship, trying to see where it can fix things. But unfortunately, it's broken. You broke up for a reason. You got to understand this. I know it's a bitter pill to swallow, but essentially, if it was meant to be, you'd still be together. So make sure that you focus on healing and you don't allow her to obtain any power over you during this period. And the second reason is she's still the center of your world, meaning you haven't found your purpose. You made her your mission. She was the sole focus in your life. And when she tries to come back into your life during this time, you're going to fold, because you haven't focused on building your purpose as a man. And this personally has happened to me myself. The last relationship that I was in, I didn't have purpose. There wasn't a greater mission that I was striving towards. So she became the center of my world. And when she left me, I was completely broken. I didn't know who I was anymore. I had a broken identity. And I get it. A lot of guys don't know what their purpose is. So essentially, they just live a life where they make the woman the sole focus. And you got to understand that this is very dangerous. When you don't have a mission as a man, if you're not striving towards anything greater, you end up just making her the center of your world. And you more than likely have done this And it's okay, you can change things around. But what I'm saying is, until you find your mission, you cannot be in another relationship. You need to have a greater why that you're striving towards as a man. Because this is the main reason why she left you. This was the main reason why my ex-girlfriend left me. Before you get yourself into your next relationship, you must build your purpose as a man. It's something that you need to really focus on. That's why you need to utilize solitude after your breakup, after she left you, to focus on these areas that need attention as a man. This is non-negotiable. And the third reason is you still see her as the prize. You don't value yourself as the prize. And the reason being is you more than likely are putting your ex-girlfriend on a pedestal, saying to yourself that she's the one that got away, when in fact you're the prize as a man. I get it. I personally have done this myself. When that 7-year relationship ended, I was trapped in fear and scarcity. That was how my mindset was operating. So I used to say to myself, I'm not going to meet anyone as beautiful as her. We created so many memories. No one's going to understand me. I was trapped in fear and scarcity. And this is what you're more than likely trapped in. You're pedestalizing your ex-girlfriend, the one that broke up with you, the one that's no longer compatible with you. She's not coming on the journey with you in life. You got to understand this. She left you. She didn't see the potential in you, so she broke up with you. But let me tell you something. This is where things get interesting. When you start to focus on yourself, when you rebuild yourself as a man, build your self-worth back up again, you end up being the prize. And this is exactly what happened to me. As soon as I started to focus completely on healing, I removed any distractions, I went all in, my self-worth increased. And then I saw myself as the prize. And all those negative emotions that I felt after that breakup, they were completely gone. And guess what? She returned back into my life. She tried to get back with me. But at this point, I've already processed the emotions of the breakup. I've already healed. I've already built up my self-worth. I found my purpose. I found my why. I was on a mission. And I had started to form a relationship with someone else. And at this point, it was too late. I had too much self-respect to go back to the person that left me. And I'm not saying that she's a bad person. I did also make mistakes in that relationship, I can admit. But at the end of the day, she returned once I focused on myself and increased my self-worth as a man. I saw myself now as a prize. And you will too, once you start to focus on your self-worth, rebuilding yourself as a man. But right now, you're not going to see yourself as a prize because you haven't worked on building your self-worth. So right now, all it takes is for her, again, to just send you a message, come back into your life, and you again will unconsciously or maybe consciously put her on a pedestal. And when you do that, she's going to break up with you again. Because you see her as the prize, you don't value yourself high enough as the prize as a man. And no woman wants to be with a man with low self-worth, low self-esteem. It's not attractive. Think about it. If you were her, would you date you? And the answer would be no. So you need to focus on building up your self-worth so you put yourself on a pedestal and see yourself as the prize. And the fourth and final reason is you haven't rebuilt your masculine identity as a man. You're still stuck in that old identity, which is no longer serving you. That woman that walked out of your life, she became part of that old identity that you're currently trapped in. So this is a time where you need to rebuild your identity as a man, do this in solitude, and focus on having purpose, a bulletproof mindset, and the right daily habits, the right daily routines, structure, discipline. You need to focus on these areas. Any other weaknesses that you had prior to getting yourself in that relationship, this is what you need to focus on. That's why you need to kill the old you. There's no way that you can have a thriving relationship with a woman that you actually want to be in a relationship with, a woman that respects you, that admires you, that looks up to you, if you don't focus on rebuilding your identity and killing the old version of yourself. Again, going back to my 7-year relationship that ended. when I rebuilt my identity, when I went all in recreating a version of myself, a man that I was proud of, that's when she tried to come back into my life. She wasn't coming back for love. She was checking if she still had me, still had that old version of myself. And I had changed. I no longer knew the old version of myself. She was part of my identity. I was with her for a long time. I didn't have that purpose. I made her the mission. I had so many weaknesses before getting myself in that relationship that I was completely broken after she left me. I didn't know who I was anymore. I tied myself to her. My self-worth was tied to her. My happiness was tied to her. I didn't respect myself. I let myself go. So she was checking to see if she still had that control over me, which she would have if I was that old identity, if I was that weak version of myself. But no, I fixed myself. I rebuilt myself as a man. I forgave that old version of myself, because we make mistakes as men. You don't want to beat yourself up about it, but you want to understand, okay, you know what? I feel stuck. I feel lost. I feel empty. I need help. I need to focus on building a man that I'm proud of, a man that's striving for more. And until you do that, you won't be able to have a thriving relationship. You will only go back to her because your identity is tied to her. That's all you know, because you've spent all your time, energy, focus with this person, on this person, that right now you feel broken. So again, she can come back and she's going to test you. So this is why I say it's the perfect opportunity for you to now actually rebuild your identity as a man. You cannot just allow your identity to depend on someone else. This is the perfect opportunity. Sit in solitude, process the emotions of the breakup, start to heal. But not only just heal, destroy that weak version of yourself and rebuild a savage version, a 2.0, a man that you're proud of, and give that man back to the world. That's when you can attract a beautiful woman into your life who's going to actually be feminine and respect you and look up to you and admire you. That's the biggest life lesson that I've learned from being in 15 years worth of relationships, making a lot of mistakes. And I'm not ashamed to say this, but what's allowed me to have control in my current relationship and maintain my frame, have a good dynamic where I lead, she follows. It's because I not only healed, but I rebuilt my identity as a man. I have purpose, I have vision, I have clarity. And I'm striving for more. And I put my purpose first before my partner. And she knows this, she watches my videos. And this is the way it is as a man. You need to have this. I was always wondering, how do you prevent the relationship from going stagnant? You need to have an identity that's congruent with the direction in life that you're heading. And the woman becomes a byproduct of that new identity, of that mission that you're striving towards. She joins you on your mission. You don't join her on your mission. She comes into your life. You don't go into her life. She comes into your frame. You don't go into her frame. You've got to understand this. If this message hits you, it's because deep down you haven't healed yet. Don't fail the test by going back to the one person that broke you. This is the perfect opportunity for you to finally rebuild the man that you were always meant to be. So if you're ready to overcome the pain of this breakup, shift your identity and move forward in life with purpose, book a call with me and I'll guide you through the whole process. I'll help you get to the destination. So you can click the link down below and book a free one-to-one call with me and I'll see if you're the right fit for the program. But look, I'm going to end the video here. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, give it a like. It always helps the algorithm. And if you want to share your comments, drop your comments down below. Ending it here. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.